As Christ says in the Gospel of Matthew, "My yoke is easy and my burden light." If that's true, why does the Church, the visible presence of Christ's authority on earth, have so many rules and regulations which can appear to put a heavy burden on individual Catholics? As we read in Luke chapter 12, at the close of the parable of the vigilant and faithful servants, we hear, "Much will be required of the persons entrusted with much, and still more will be demanded of the person entrusted with more." This verse can help inform our understanding of this conundrum, because although Christ's law frees us from the burden of sin and death, and enables us to live free of vice and error, much is required of those entrusted with God's eternal kingdom. If we wish to be citizens of a perfect heavenly city, we have to live like that is our destiny while here on earth. This duty is expressed in many ways, but for those intending to be married, the Church prescribes certain forms that must be ordinarily observed to marry in a Catholic ceremony, one of which is that a couple should be married in a Catholic church or similar sacred space. Although for many Catholics, getting married in a church is just the obvious thing to do, others find themselves resenting this prescription because they would prefer to be married somewhere that they personally find more meaningful or romantic, with many suggesting outdoor ceremonies at a place like a beach. The reason that a marriage happens in the house of God is that while a marriage is in a real sense for the good of the spouses themselves, it is not just a declaration of love, but is also a sacrament. Marriage is necessarily turned outward, and we must serve the good of the whole church and of those outside the romantic union of the couple. We can see this reality expressed when we look at the purpose of marriage, which is first and foremost ordered to procreation, and only secondarily to the union of spouses. Although the couple themselves are the ministers of the sacrament upon one another, God is ultimately the arbiter of the sacramental grace which is conferred upon the couple, and that grace must be used for God's purposes, even and above our own desires and wants. The Church has therefore determined that this sacramental reality is best expressed in a suitable worship space, such as a church.